welcome to this edition of Correspondence, the show that brings you the very best of France 24's reporting from around the world. Now today in Paris, it is pouring with rain, so we are here at the Galerie Vivienne, probably the capital's most iconic covered arcade. It was built in 1823 and was entirely renovated in 2016. So here we can have a stroll and not get wet, thanks to the glass roof. But back to our program. Today we'll be taking you to South Korea, we'll be taking you to Ivory Coast, and we'll be back here in France. But first, let's start in South Africa, where a new strain of Covid-19 is overloading hospitals. But for now, it's difficult to know exactly how deadly it is because the authorities are struggling to count the dead. It's a report by Caroline Dumais, Stephen Carston, and Sam Brad-Pierce.
This funeral parlour in Kailicha Township has been running for more than 20 years. The Covid-19 pandemic means they are busier than ever before.
So this is usually full. If you can see the rack from here to the bottom, this seats 4 coffins, and now we only have 1 left. Usually we'd, let's say, have about 4 or 5 removals per week, would then, let's say, double.
Burials are now so frequent that finding the right flowers is difficult. In this market, the price of chrysanthemums has doubled.
There is a shortage of flowers because Joburg market, they just let us know now there's no flowers on the market there.
Officially, COVID has claimed more than 40,000 lives in South Africa, but researchers examining the country's natural mortality rate say the real tally is almost certainly more than double that. They note that the death rate in each province has spiked sharply in line with local COVID outbreaks.
The timing of the increases in the different parts of the country, so the spatial and temporal correlation is just so high that we must expect that the majority of those cases, those deaths, are from COVID related.
Local authorities are worried. It is unclear if the new strain discovered here, while more contagious, could be more deadly for those infected or resistant to infection.
Morning. That's too close.
No, they will know whether when they get the PCR, which is the swab test results, whether it is the variant or it's another, because the symptoms, according to the researchers, is still the same, and they're still studying whether it does cause much death or more of the sickness.
Despite the uncertainty, many still feel the vaccine cannot come soon enough.
During the first wave of the pandemic, South Korea was seen as one of the most efficient nations in the world when it came to fighting the virus. But now, at a time where nations are racing to vaccinate their population, it is trailing its Asian neighbors. 2 reasons: logistics and a population that's grown weary of vaccines. It's a report by Constantin Simon.
Last summer, more than 8 out of 10 South Koreans said they would receive the COVID-19 vaccine. But several months on, many say they're having second thoughts. They include this woman, who's at a clinic receiving an injection for another health issue.
맞고 나서 사람들이 뭐 어지럽다든지 막 그런 부작용 같은 것도 많이 나왔잖아요, 뉴스에. 그래서 좀 안 맞을 것 같아요, 무서워서.
Vaccine hesitancy is spreading in South Korea, and part of the blame lies with a regular flu vaccine. Last autumn, more than 3 million doses of the vaccine had to be destroyed due to a storage glitch. In addition, 108 people who received the vaccine had died by late November. Although experts say they found no connection between the deaths and the flu vaccine, doctors have been saddled with large quantities of unused doses.
남아있어서 좀 반품 지금 우리 보건소에서.
The failure of so many people to have the flu jab has complicated the COVID-19 vaccine rollout.
좀 과거에 비해서 많아졌죠. 옛날에는 그냥 맞으면 그냥 당연히 맞는 거로 했는데 요즘은 좀 그건 믿어도 돼요. 뭐 이제 원장님은 생각 어떠세요? 뭐 이렇게 이제 문의하는 경우가 좀 많이 늘었다고 봐야죠. 만약에 그 신뢰가 무너지고 그러면은 환자들이 많이 안 맞을 거로 생각하는데.
In response, the South Korean government is taking a cautious approach to vaccinations, but some people are unhappy about the delay, which could see vaccinations rolled out from next month.
그래도 다른 나라도 다 코로나로 많이 위험한데 건강이 저희 나라는 이렇게 백신이 늦게 들어오고 하니까 조금 불안하죠.
저는 그거에 대해서는 정부의 무능함이라고 좀 없지 않아 생각하고 있는데 그 이유가
South Korea has won international praise for its aggressive fight against the virus. But when it comes to vaccines, the country, a rare COVID-19 success story, is being far more guarded.
Plastic waste is a major problem across Africa, but a new solution is being pioneered in the Ivory Coast. There, a Brazilian company has set up a plant that transforms plastic into construction materials. This is both boosting wages and helping create new classrooms. It's a report by Thais Broek.
Plastic, plastic, wherever you look. Abidjan is drowning in it. In this landfill site, small hands sift through the waste, searching for plastic. This is how they get by. But in recent months, their livelihoods have improved.
We have joined a company, and honestly, it is very good. Very good.
These women have seen their incomes double since they started working directly for the Colombian business Conceptos Plásticos. Set up last year, their factory transforms plastic waste into building material.
You can see all the different kinds of plastic here. Now we're going to grind it and over there densify it so that we can use it in our manufacturing process.
The finished product, towering columns of plastic bricks, more resistant and less heavy than traditional concrete ones. The bricks are sold to UNICEF, who use them to build classrooms.
There is a shortage of classrooms in Côte d'Ivoire, and actually quite a number of the reasons why children don't go to school is lack of classrooms or them being overcrowded.
In this Abidjan neighborhood next to the old school building, a new classroom is ready.
Les enfants, ça va bien?
The main perk, according to this teacher, is that plastic is a better insulator.
As soon as we go into the classroom, it's less hot compared to ordinary buildings. There is cool air. We feel comfortable when we teach.
UNICEF has already built 61 classrooms out of recycled plastic across the country, with new ones popping up every month.
Our last report this week brings us back here to Paris, where 700 classic car owners decided to meet up, despite the pandemic, for what is called La Traversée de Paris. They drive their vehicles across the capital. And Marie Schuster was there with her camera.
They beeped and revved their way across Paris, much to the amusement of passers-by and car enthusiasts. Some 700 classic cars were paraded across the French capital Sunday, bringing some nostalgia to the city's streets.
Il y a un côté un peu nostalgique, mais c'est beau, ça fait carte postale, quoi. Même si on est de par là, ça fait carte postale, quoi. C'est toujours agréable de voir quand on est jeune une autre époque.
Ça fait 40 ans que je suis dans l'automobile, donc je ne peux pas louper un endroit et un rendez-vous de cette nature. C'est exceptionnel, exceptionnel. Surtout en ces temps si durs.
Traversée de Paris is always a success, but like any event in this day and age, it could not escape the effect of COVID-19.
Habituellement, on a des gens de l'étranger. Même là, cette année, on va avoir 3 Belges. On a un Luxembourgeois. Mais je pense que les contraintes un peu sanitaires ont un peu bloqué. On devait faire un tour autour de l'Arc de Triomphe. Ça n'a pas été autorisé. Mais enfin bon, on est déjà content de pouvoir faire cette traversée. Parce que compte tenu de toutes les incertitudes qui existaient, jusqu'au dernier moment, on se demandait si on pouvait le faire.
Car enthusiast Laurent bought this 1964 Facel Vega 35 years ago. But from the 1st of June, driving this kind of vintage sports car could be prohibited in Paris.
Faut arrêter de mettre des gens dans les cases. C'est pas parce qu'on est passionné de véhicules anciens qu'on n'est pas concerné par l'avenir de la planète. Et vous savez, on fait à peu près 1000 km par an. On est 1% du parc roulant. On n'a quasiment pas de diesel, en tout cas en voiture. Donc clairement, nous interdire de circuler n'aurait aucun impact sur la qualité de l'air.
Of course, if you don't have a Maserati or an Aston Martin on hand, there's always public transport to get you to friends and enjoy a drink, surrounded by these emblems of another era.
That's it for this edition. I'd like to thank our camerawoman, Armelko, and our producer, Agnès Le Cossec. Thank you for watching, and please do stay safe, and stay tuned to France 24.
reporters take us deep into the Amazon rainforest to the village of Kako, where the Hmong people arrived from Indochina 40 years ago.
Ici, on a trouvé notre terre, donc la Guyane française.
There was nothing when they arrived. Everything you see is down to their hard work. Roads, schools, homes, crops.
Ils nous font vivre la Guyane avec leurs plantations, avec leurs légumes, ce qui reste très important pour nous.
Once used as backup troops by the French in the Indochina War of the 1950s, the Hmong people have successfully integrated into Guyana's multi-ethnic society. Join us to discover these former refugees and their crucial role in their adopted homeland. In Revisited on France 24 and France24.com.
Fake news. Noun. False stories that appear to be news, spread on the internet or using other media. At France 24, our job is to provide you with information that's been verified. We check sources, we check facts, we sort what is true from what is fake.
At the France 24 Observers, we verify photos and videos circulating online. If they're fake, we let you know and tell you how we spotted them.
In Fact or Fake, we dig into viral stories around Europe to shake out the truth from the trash.
Every day, the Info Migrants team scours social networks to fight fake news about the reality of migration.
France 24, news based on facts.
Liberté, égalité, actualité.